David Shearer in reply.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Well, sir, I've had some pretty lacklustre average responses from the other side and why they are not supporting transparency and full information by which consumers can make a choice. And it's kind of surprising, really, when it's coming from this side, which purports to be the party of pro-market. They were talking about, for example, Jonathan Young and Todd Barclay were just talking about the fact that somehow a press release, which is an optional a mechanism that can be adopted by power companies, are going to be as good as getting a fully annotated and broken down power bill. I mean, let's face it, guys, that's rubbish. The Electricity Authority came out with a report that has got to be the lowest possible intervention it could possibly scrape out to try and keep some sort of semblance for the tens of thousands of dollars it's spent on that study. And then, sir, to have David Seymour from the ACT Party stand up and make actually quite a good contribution, but consisted mainly of questions. What about, perhaps, maybe? Sir, the way to actually get around that is to send it to the select committee so we can actually get the industry give the answers that perhaps Mr. Seymour lacks when he stood up to make his contribution. Sir, the real issue here is about consumers getting a fair deal and being able to look at their power bill and understand it. The power price has gone up 25% in the last 5 years, and every time it does, there is a pointing of fingers between line companies, Transpower, power companies, retailers, whoever, that they are not to blame and somebody else is to blame. And you can talk about all these power prices coming down. Ask the people out there, Mr. Young, about power prices going down. I can tell you, you'll be hard-pressed on the street to find anybody that can tell you that their power price has gone down. Sir, this is about real information. Let me give you another example. Meters, power meters, smart meters. We have had smart meters installed across our country. They are the dumbest smart meters in the world. They give the power companies the ability to know what you're consuming in terms of your electricity every 15 minutes. And what everybody else in the world gets is real-time information on a minute-by-minute basis of what's happening inside the home, so they can turn on their dryer late at night, or they can to make use of cheaper power. We have dumb power meters that won't give us that. They'll give the electricity companies lots of information, but they won't give the consumers. And why is that? Because they don't want you to have good information. As Teresa Gatting once said about the telecoms industry, it makes good business sense to keep people in the dark, to keep it opaque, to keep them confused. And that's what we've got now, sir. Confusion which suits the industry down to the ground, and that party over there, sir, is backing that. They do not want to have consumers being able to know what their power bill is and to be able to break it down and make informed choices. Sir, if I was sitting here watching this debate today, I would be disappointed with the National Party not standing up for consumers, for the ACT Party with consumers in their name of their party not standing up for consumers. But I, sir, would be saying I give up on these parties because they don't stand up for what they believe in, and I would recommend that instead they go to a company like Flick and try and get a better deal. Unfortunately, the number of flicks we can sustain throughout the country, and they only have less than 1% of the power market right at the moment, is not going to be great enough to make a huge difference. And that's the real tragedy of what we're talking about today, sir. That what we could have easily have done is what the Minister of Energy has purported to want to do, which is to break down our bills and to their component parts. It's what Doug Heffernan of Mighty River Power has wanted to do, to break down our our power bills into component parts. In fact, just about everybody agrees with that. You talked to Simon McKenzie, CEO from Vector Energy. Look at their submission. Of course they want to see these broken down. Sir, this is a bill and that is unfortunately a wasted opportunity. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
The question is that the motion be agreed to. Those of that opinion will say aye. Aye. Contrary, no. The noes have it. A party vote has been called for. The clerk will conduct a party vote.
New Zealand National?
59 opposed. 59 opposed.
Thank you. New Zealand Labour?
32 votes in favour.
Green Party?
14 in favour.
New Zealand First?
12 votes in favour.
Maori Party?
2 in favour.
Ag New Zealand?
Opposed.
United Future?
1 opposed.
The ayes are 60, the noes are 61. The bill will not be read a first time. Call on members' order of the date number 5.
Commerce Supermarket Adjudication